With the setting sun of my life, I have accumulated not only years, but a vast wealth of experiences and teachings. My existence has been a tapestry intertwined with threads of joy and sadness, achievements and failures, each leaving an indelible mark on my being. I was born in distant times, in a world that you may only know through stories. I have witnessed how humanity has touched the stars, but also its falls into abysses of despair. I have lived through times of war and peace, love and loss, observing human nature in all its rawness and beauty. Infidelity, a topic as old as time itself, has been a constant thread in the stories I have witnessed. It goes beyond the simple act of betrayal, revealing deep aspects of ourselves, our relationships, and the society in which we live. I've seen how it can tear at the fabric of love, but also how it can become, in certain cases, a dark catalyst for growth and understanding. In my youth, infidelity was a taboo shrouded in shadows and whispers, but I have learned that behind every act of betrayal there is a story, a chain of choices and circumstances. Although I do not justify the pain it causes, I have come to understand its complexities. Over the years, I have treasured stories, tears and smiles. I have witnessed repentance and redemption. I have learned that life, in all its chaotic beauty, is a ruthless but fair teacher, and now, as I reach the twilight of my path, I wish to share all my wisdom with you. Infidelity is not simply an act of betrayal, but a symptom of a deeper illness that lies at the heart of the relationship. It often begins long before the physical act takes place, in the unknown depths of dissatisfaction, lack of connection, or neglect. I have seen couples who, to the eyes of the world, seemed perfect, but behind closed doors they lived lives of quiet desperation, each yearning for something more or different. I remember a young couple, neighbors of mine many years ago, who seemed to have it all: beauty, wealth and success. However, the brightness of his outer life hid a grim truth. The husband, a charming man in everyone's eyes, constantly sought validation outside of his marriage. It wasn't just physical desire that drove him, but a deeper need to be admired and desired. His wife, an intelligent and attentive woman, felt the growing distance between them, but she chose to close her eyes, fearing that facing reality would crumble her perfect world. When the infidelity finally came to light, it was not through a confession, but through the humiliating experience of being the last to know. The community whispered, the looks of pity and judgment almost unbearable. Betrayal is a deep wound, not only because it breaks the pact of fidelity, but because it undermines the fundamental trust that sustains every relationship. Here lies my first incisive advice: do not close your eyes to the signs. In most cases, the signs are there, subtle but persistent. It could be the widening emotional distance, the increasingly frequent excuses to spend time apart, or those moments when the wandering eye becomes too obvious to ignore. Facing these signs early can be scary, but it's much less painful than the revelation of a complete betrayal. However, the blame for infidelity never falls on one person. It's a tragic dance of two people who, in one way or another, have stopped connecting meaningfully. I have learned that honest and open communication is the most powerful antidote to betrayal. Talking about desires, fears, and frustrations without judgment or condemnation can open a channel of understanding that prevents the fissures that infidelity is quick to fill. But what happens when the deed is done, when the betrayal has been revealed and they are both sitting among the rubble of what was once their love? Here lies my second piece of advice: infidelity does not always mean the end of the road. For some couples, it becomes a painful but necessary awakening. I have seen marriages that, after the storm of betrayal, have built something new and stronger on the ruins of the old. This is not easy. It requires a level of forgiveness, understanding and commitment that not everyone can achieve or are willing to offer. I remember a couple, close friends from my youth, whose marriage was rocked by infidelity. The wife had found comfort in the arms of another during a dark period of her marriage. The revelation was devastating for both of them, but it was also a catalyst to confront long-ignored problems. Through months of grief, therapy, and difficult conversations, they managed to rebuild their relationship into something honest and sustainable. It wasn't the path they had planned, but it was one they chose to walk together. But, my dears, you must also know when to let go. This is my third piece of advice: not all marriages should or can be saved after infidelity. Sometimes the act is the final blow to an already dying relationship, sometimes the betrayal is too deep, the damage too extensive. In those cases, the bravest and most ruthless act may be to let go, not out of hatred, but out of deep respect for oneself and another. I remember my own experience with infidelity. It was many decades ago, but the pain and the lesson remain fresh as if it were yesterday. My husband, the love of my youth, found comfort in the arms of another during a period of great tumult in our lives. The betrayal shook me to my core, but over time I realized it was a symptom, not the disease. Our marriage had been failing, full of unspoken silences and unmet needs. The decision to separate was heartbreaking but necessary. It was an act of liberation and self-affirmation. I learned that sometimes the greatest act of self-love is to walk away from that which no longer serves our growth or happiness. It was a tough but valuable lesson, one that has guided me through many other challenges in life. Friends, learn from infidelity, whether you decide to stay and rebuild or let go and start again. Don't let the experience be in vain. Infidelity can be a cruel teacher but also an effective one. Teach them about their needs, limits, and desires. Teach them about the importance of communication, respect, and forgiveness. And most importantly, let it teach you about the unbreakable resilience of the human spirit. My dear ones, infidelity is one of the most difficult tests a relationship can face, but it is also an opportunity for deep growth and understanding. Take my words, born from years of observation and experience, and wear them in your hearts. Through the storms that may come, with love, passion and courage, you can face even the darkest of nights and find your way to the light once again. Over the years you learn too many life lessons, and at 90 years old, I can tell you that being true to yourself is one of the most important lessons that life taught me through falls. Ask yourselves what it means to you to be authentic. Life is a short journey, and spending it being less than you really are is a personal tragedy. Betrayal hurts, but even in the deepest pain lies the seed of future happiness. Recovery takes time, tears, and deep inner work, but it is possible to begin with forgiveness. Self-esteem is the foundation on which a life is built. Cultivate it as if it were a beautiful garden. Nourish yourself with the love and respect that you give to yourself and that you demand from others. Forgiveness is a choice, a powerful act of self-affirmation. By forgiving, we not only free the other from the weight of our anger, but we also free ourselves. Life is a constant teacher, and each day offers lessons for those willing to learn. Embrace the idea that you never stop growing. Look for opportunities to expand your mind, challenge your beliefs, and get out of your comfort zone. Life is a series of choices. And while we can't always control what happens to us, we can always control how we respond. Choose love over fear, hope over despair, and light over darkness. No matter how long the night is, dawn always comes at the end. Since the battles, we learned a lot, but nothing compares to a good laugh and a restful sleep, the two best recipes for any discomfort. Let's take our finances seriously. Money can be a shield against many challenges. Solitude gives us the opportunity to reconnect with our deepest being. The meaning of hell was once explained to me: on the last day on earth, you will meet the person you have become and meet the person you could have been. We often teach others how to treat us, whether consciously or not. Don't let your dreams fade away without having fulfilled them. Sometimes being an adult means acting kindly in a somewhat childish way. It doesn't matter what the critics say, the merit belongs to the one in the sand, marked by dust, sweat, and blood. Loving others is okay, but never lose sight of your own opinion and value. The shortest words, like yes and no, often require the most thought. Kindness is a precious gift. Every person you meet is fighting their own battle. Balance is good, but harmony is even better. Extract success from your failures. Disappointment and failure can be stepping stones to achievement. Success without effort is an illusion. To harvest, you must first sow. Transform your wounds into wisdom. Forgiveness is for your own inner peace, not to absolve others. Life is often ambiguous, decisions are rarely clear, and sometimes we must improvise. Sometimes spiritual awakening begins when we realize that we are not our thoughts. Don't always attribute bad intentions to what can be explained by simple ignorance. Stories are more than just stories, they teach us that dragons can be defeated. Do not cling to the past or look for justifications in it, look forward for happiness and purpose. You are what you are, and that is enough. Success is not the end, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to move forward that really matters. Don't worry about tomorrow, because tomorrow already worries about itself. Every day has its own challenges. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes our worst deceptions come from our own fears. Don't waste what you have longing for what you don't have. Remember that what you have now is what you once wanted. It is not necessary to burn books to destroy a culture, it is enough for people to stop reading them. Do not look back, the past does not define your future path. Practice self-compassion, we are all human and we make mistakes. Choose your friends well, the people you surround yourself with will shape your destiny. Manage your finances wisely, happiness is not found in luxurious houses or expensive cars. Life offers two possible paths, but there is always time to change direction. Don't waste time worrying about other people's opinions, nobody thinks about you as much as yourself. Life can be a tragedy for those who feel too much, but a comedy for those who think in perspective. Thinking is hard work, and that is why so few dare to do it. Life is summarized in 3 events: birth, life and death. We do not choose to be born, we die with pain, but we forget to live. Sometimes, we must distance ourselves from the world to understand it better. If it's not good, don't do it, if it is not true, do not tell. Love never has an end. Happiness lies in knowing that true love has no end. Life is like a book, some chapters are sad, others are happy, but all are necessary to complete the story. Take care of your health, since without it nothing matters. No amount of money can provide joy if you are suffering. Always follow your own path, do not be guided by the opinion of friends or family. Lack of time is not an excuse, it is a lack of priority. Discipline gives you freedom. To know your enemy, you must first become one. Children learn more from example than from the words of adults. Don't underestimate someone's contempt for you, it can cause damage at different levels. Life is short, but it is also full of opportunities. Don't put off what you want to do. Be proud of your efforts, even in the most difficult times. Don't force, beg or chase. If something is not meant to be, let it go. Learn to value your time, because if you don't, others won't either. Today's pain will be tomorrow's strength. Don't be afraid of important medical tests. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. If something makes you happy, enjoy it in silence. Don't be afraid to move forward. If you do not ask, you will not receive. Life may not be fair, but it always offers opportunities to learn and grow. Dare to take risks, those who don't will never achieve success. Do not assume responsibilities that do not correspond to you and establish clear limits. Select carefully who you allow into your life and acquire property wisely. Don't leave someone to teach them a lesson, do it because you have learned yours. When in doubt, take the next small step. Pay attention to who you choose as a partner and who you allow to be part of your family. Accept that mistakes are part of the learning process and get up every time you fall. Remember that the older you are, the harder it will be to change. Be generous and kind, but set boundaries to avoid being taken for granted. Holding on to expectations only creates stress. Things will happen as they should be, not as you wish them to be. Learn from people's actions, not just their words. Don't react immediately to anger, wait for it to calm down. What is said or done in anger is irreparable. See people for who they are, not what you wish they were. Never get your hopes up that will never come true. In conclusion, use discernment and allow people to show you their true colors. Never lend money, as you may lose friends for a few days and fools for years. Don't share your problems before finding a solution, people will enjoy watching you fall. Don't show weakness, be strong in front of them. Listen to those who tell you what you don't want to hear. The truth may be painful, but it is necessary. Drive away the sorrow, it is dangerous and consumes you. Just because you're going through a tough time right now doesn't mean you won't smile again. The pain is temporary, the only constant in life is change. Accept it and grow. Practice courtesy, say please and thank you many times. Success does not come easy, work in silence and let your achievements speak for you. What would you do if you were not afraid of failure? Overcome talent with hard work. Remember, the days are long, but the years are short. It is better to remain silent and be considered a fool than to speak and remove all doubts. Do the best with what you have and where you are. Words have power, use them wisely. Don't judge others by their appearance, few know the true essence of a person. Socialization is a skill that you must practice. Learn to express your opinions without creating enmities. Live each day as if it were your last and learn as if you were going to live forever. Life is not measured by its duration, but by the quality of your actions. People never forget, he only forgives those he loves. Solitude does not embrace freedom, choose if you are part of the problem or the solution. Life is not a puzzle to solve, but a reality to live. In difficult times, the law is silent and things seem impossible. As soon as poverty enters the door, love and peace go out the window. A true friend is a priceless treasure. Things get better when you have lower expectations. Life has a way of surprising us when we least expect it. Everything that can be fixed with money is cheap. People cheat because they feel worthless or misunderstood. The more we value what is out of our control, the less control we have. Do not deceive yourself with illusions, they create debilitating expectations. The opinion of others does not matter, follow your own path. A winner is a dreamer who never gives up. If you want a different future, study the past. Be forgiving and understanding, but don't be naive. Learn from each experience and cultivate gratitude. Life is too short to live in the past. Lies can fly, but the truth always limps along. Respect yourself and others will respect you. Without courage, wisdom bears no fruit. Bring your own light to the darkness and don't let yesterday consume your today. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. Negativity does not create a positive life. Betrayal often comes from those we trust. Regret doesn't change the past, but it can compromise your future. Sometimes you have to let people be who they are. Treating someone as they could be can help them become the best version of them. Gratitude is powerful and cheap medicine. Sharing your friends' problems makes you closer to them. Live your life so that when you die, the world will mourn your departure. Genius is primarily work, not just talent. Save a little every week, a financial cushion will bring you peace of mind. Happiness is not a future destiny, it is a present choice. Take advantage of every moment, as life goes by quickly. Your thoughts determine the quality of your mind. Trust the process and work hard, the more you do it, the luckier you will be. Listen to your heart and let your head guide you, together, they will take you far. Free yourself from worries, they don't work for you. Live with courage, compassion and gratitude, and you will see your life transform. When you take off your clothes at night, the lies you believe often become the truth. If you want a happy life, link it with goals, not with people or things. Never give up what you really want, it is harder to regret than to wait. So-called temporary defeats are opportunities to learn and grow. Life is not about finding yourself, but about creating yourself. The important thing is not what happens to you, but how you react to it. Intuition precedes exact knowledge. You can always be nice to people, even those you are indifferent to. Illness and ignorance are more costly than the illness itself. Everything that happens outside of this moment is just imagination. Your life improves through change, not by chance. Stay strong even when everything seems to fall apart. I prefer to be understood by Portia than to be misunderstood by men. Fear only exists in the mind. You will never regret telling someone you love them. Do it before it's too late. We often know more about a person by what they say about others than by what they say about themselves. Getting married means having rights and doubling responsibilities. Jealousy will not bring you down, it is normal. Most of the time you must learn to grow on your own and trust with wisdom. You recognize the incredible through words and the wise through his silence. The only time to look back is to see how far you've come. Stress is the opposite of apathy. When someone shows you who they are, believe it the first time. Keep your fears to yourself, but share your courage with others. At work, focus on the work, not the fruit of your labor. True love begins when you expect nothing in return. Never say, maybe, when you mean, no. In anger, keep silence, you don't need to win every argument. Always remember that wisdom is not just to be heard, but to be lived. If these reflections have touched something in you, if you have found comfort, inspiration, or simply company in my words, I invite you to share in the comments the phrase that you liked the most or that inspired you the most. If you want more inspiring content full of wisdom like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so you don't miss any videos. See you in the next video. May wisdom and love guide every step of your path.